All right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High, a higher has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall, and I will rest therein. Here we are. It's time to talk. And I'm going to talk about several different topics. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's on the left, what's on the right, what's in the back of us, in front of us. But I'm just going to do some talking, okay? And you can also chime in as far as giving information that you would want to talk about, or you have the questions or the answers, or you want to say something that the Father has laid on your heart, and we can, talk about it. But Sister Deborah want to say that I have several topics here, and I also have some chapters and verses to go over because I feel the need to do just that. I feel the need to do just that. Um, we know that it's no to me it's for me, it's no need to cover the issues that's going on in a way of shocking or something that's wow or that's really taking place. These things need be. I have embraced it as that, but yet I will cover some things, but I have accepted what the Father has given me regarding the issues in the world today. And matter of fact, the things that's actually taking place. Um, I kind of, I kind of feel like I said about a puzzle that has a trillion pieces. With Sister Deborah, there's not one piece missing. That's where Sister Deborah is at in Yah. There's not one piece that is missing. When I heard what was taking place in Revelation chapter 20, and how calm things were, I'm like, wait a minute. If you are flesh and you're living in this world today, I am flesh, I'm living in this world today. But to read Revelation 20 and see calmness, completion, and it's like at a calm. It's not something that the world and the church and all these different religions have cranked up. Oh, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming. But when I look into Revelation chapter 20, the Father has allowed me to see the end as if it's just as calm, simple. And I said, Father, this thing is simple. This thing is not chaotic. He said, you're feeling that way because you're in the world. You're living, even though you're in me and walking therein as a servant, but you're living on the earth. So you hear all these voices, you hear the mindsets of people. You see, he's saying that you're actually hearing the mindsets and the words of people, and how this and this and this. Everybody is blaming this one and this one and this one and this one. But when the Father showed it to me in the calmness of calmness, I can still feel that right now. And it's a sad thing to be living as a servant of the Most High Yah. And Yah gives me the calmness in it all. And I'm like, said, wait a minute. You mean Satan ain't got no, which is the devil, don't got no issue? The false prophet and the beast? You mean the earth and the sea? You mean the grave, which is hell? You mean the dead in spirit? Nobody has an issue when it come down to Yah in game. None whatsoever. But you would never know that. With all this chaos in the world that we are looking at and we are beholding and we're getting on this devil platform speaking about, we're making the littlest thing something really big. I know people are trying to sell a lie and sell. What they're doing is they selling off a lot of darkness. Hey, you want a bag of darkness? Here, you want a bag? Here, I'm selling it 10, 20 pounds for the little of nothing. Come to my page. And it's just to the point where I'm like, wait a minute. They're not having any issue. They're going according to my Father's way of orchestrating everything before the heaven and earth was created. I did 4 videos explaining to you as a little girl, and I'm talking about in my early teens where I was taught what took place before the foundation of the world. I look back even at it today, just why I'm bringing it up to you all, and I look at it, I say, you know what, Father? I really like that because it sets the pace. It sets the pace in which you're going to run the journey. You know what I'm saying? And to know that everything was orchestrated before the foundation of the world, then no one could tell you to run this fast, Deborah, or run this slow. You got to run real fast, Deborah. You got to be a little faster. No, y'all already set the pace from the beginning to the end. He was saying how saying that he is the beginning and the end, that should give us fully closure. Woo, Father, where are you going with that? That's deep. Let me say that again. I know y'all didn't get that, but I did. I even got chills. The Father says, even saying that he is the beginning and the end should set the pace for many, especially if you say that you're walking in him, okay, and with him. It should set the pace to let you know the beginning and the end. And according to have the beginning, you have to have the end of him. And according to have the end, you have to have the beginning. Where are you at? Just think of that. Just kind of digest that. Don't y'all hear? It's not nobody. I mean, from Muslim to Buddha would never say that this creator is the creator of the beginning to the end. Everybody seems to come to one accord when they want to describe. They might have different names of him. They might see him to be different and feel him to be different. But one thing they got on one accord, that he is the beginning to the end. And you hear many people say Alpha and Omega. But if he's the beginning and the end, wait a minute. If he started, then he had to have started with the end. And if there's an end, you have to know that he started the beginning. Where are you? So what he's saying there is everything was already done from a level of where he's at. So when I get to Revelation 20 and I'm like saying, why ain't Satan and the devil, Satan, the devil, the false prophet and the beast, they ain't doing nothing. They're doing what they are to do. They know who I am. They know not to buckle up. The only one buckled up against the Father, the Creator himself, is the children he chose. Even to today, we walk around here trying to master who he is, what he was, what he's going to do. Or he's going to do this to them. He's going to do this. They're going to get it. They're going to get it. But hold up. Do you understand who is the beginning to the end and the end to the beginning, you're not going to know the end until you know the beginning. And that's what I was just saying in the beginning of this message. As a young girl, he taught me what took place before the foundation of the world. That's the other picture that you all are missing, that he didn't feel fit to give you. What was going on where the creator of all things didn't see fit that they did not receive what took place before. And if they didn't know what took place before, then he's saying to me today, Deborah, they don't know what's at the end. And I'm sitting up here saying, you know, how this did, and this did. He said, but Deborah, you were taught what took place at the beginning to the end. They looking for an end, not even knowing a thing about the beginning. You see where I'm coming from? But yet everybody's walking around here role playing, clowning, like they in there, like they got this. They got a hand on this. They know how to do this. They know how to do this. I'm this. Everybody is in there. Everybody's role playing some sort of role or some sort of connection to the creator and don't know a thing about him in the beginning to be the one that he that holds the end. They quick to be able to tell you what the end is going to be like. How he's going to orchestrate the end to be like this, to be like this. And it's always seemed the end is always seemed to be somewhere or another, you're going to be on top. Ooh, Father, where are you going with this now? Come on now. That's what the people are today. They want to see themselves on top at the end and never knew anything about the beginning. But they want to know him and how he gonna move left and right and up and down and around in this thing called the world today. But no one understands anything because he hasn't given it to you too. He didn't see fit. So when I'm riding on up into Revelation chapter 20, I'm like, hold up now, Father, y'all, hold up. What's this going on yonder? Ain't nobody buckling up on you. Ain't nobody buckling down. He said, Deborah, you done heard too many voices in the land. You knew me from the beginning. And what is he saying to me when he said at the beginning? He said, you know my power. You can tell them what my power is. That ain't knowing my power. Just because you hear me saying what his power is and you hear the world mouth saying what his power is what taught you what took place before the foundation of the world. So when he bring you forth, you'll understand the beginning to the end. You hear many pastors and bishops and teachers and priests speaking of the beginning and the end. All those reason why I'm calling those titles is because those people sitting and they has a tendency of teaching you the beginning and the end. And they have no beginning nor no end in sight. They're only telling you enough to make you feel and think and believe that they know something. So here I'm come pulling up in Revelation. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, Father God, hold up. You mean Satan, the devil ain't got no issue? Devil. He knew where he was heading when? In the beginning. You see what I'm saying? This is where he's coming from. See, Satan knew in the beginning what his end was going to be like. Along with his servants, the demons, the devils, the wicked and evil. They knew. The beast knows. He knew his beginning and he knew his end. The false prophet knew his beginning and he knew his end. The false prophets all over the world, they know their beginning and they know their end. What does that say? They knew what Sister Deborah knew before the foundation of the world. They knew what it was in the beginning. And they know what it is today because they know they backing it up to the end. So it's a lot of people running around here. And I sit back and I watch a lot of people. There are many young females are claiming to be prophets, prophetess, and they're teaching at a level of telling you that we're going to prosper. All these good things are going to happen. All these things that makes the flesh yearn and desire to keep coming to the page, to keep holding on to what? Their hope. Their hope. Then if Sister Deborah come up and say, okay, give me 1,500 different religions and sit down at the table with them. Now one of them would tell you that they see us getting better. Now one of them, now denomination would tell you that they can see us things getting better. They won't tell you that lie. Because they are a liar. Now, if the liar won't tell you a lie, then what? Let me say that again. If the liar won't tell you a lie, then what does that tell you? They won't tell you that. Because the truth of the matter, this is not a time to search for it to get better. To search for the light to come on. To search for the Creator to turn crooked straight. And you're hearing these young women teaching this thing. So I'm still listening because I'm wondering what direction do they feel that they're going to bring these type of messages. And then the only place that I can see is the devil's platform where people are deceived. Okay, so I want to cover certain things, but I want to also first and foremost go into what I'm talking about. People are going around thinking and feeling they got this thing. And the Father wants me to cover this because when I wrote up in Revelation chapter 20, I'm like, hold up. He said, look, I taught you the beginning to the end. You know what took place before the foundation of the world. But the voices in the land, you've heard them. But the truth of the matter, ain't gonna be no war. Who gonna go up against this right hand that you come to know? He's letting me know this. And I'm like, can't nobody go up against that. I already know that. But he's just showing me how when you ride up in Revelation, that's why I'm so calm, Deborah. Because what shocked me in Revelation chapter 20, when the sea and the earth fled from the face of Yahweh. Why is the sea and the earth fleeing from his face? Now, I ain't coming his power, his hand, his right hand, but from his face did they flee. That's power, y'all. That's power. Because the sea and the earth obey his face alone. They don't have to wait for his power. They already obey. Let me get out the way. What you think gonna happen to the sun and the stars? The moon. They gonna fall dead. Why? Because the light of glory, the most high, the creator of all things, they got to bow to the earth. Not to the earth, they got to bow to their destiny. In. Why? Because light is on the scene. My father, Ahia, in case y'all didn't know, Ahia, he's on the scene. This is why you ain't gonna need no sun, no light, no stars. Everything he created gonna have to shut itself down when he come on the scene. And you mean to tell me we ain't got the sense enough to understand that power? We ain't got the sense enough to understand that's the beginning. That's the one that was in the beginning, you guys. Wait a minute, hold up. That's the one I know that was at the beginning. So I cannot stand how the more I get on and I make videos and I'm like saying, Father, it's too much power in these videos. It's too much power. What is it they not seeing? What is it they not getting? He said, didn't I tell you? The narrow gate. Very few shall find, Deborah. That's why. And I like him saying that because that's a form of comforting to assure you, as long as you got a narrow gate, you good. As long as your YouTube page is narrow, you're good. You know, that's the part being in the flesh. But yet in the spirit, you have to embrace, because I'm living. I'm not a dead prophet. I'm a living one. So he has to keep reminding me, don't forget now, the reality is very few going to find life. So don't expect them to find the light in what you're saying, nor what you're teaching, because they ain't going to even find the light to me. So don't expect them to find the light to you or what you're saying. And I'm like, you know what, Father, that goes back. He has to tell me that all the time. Keep in mind, the gate is narrow, and very few shall find their end. He has to keep reminding. That's what you call the comforter. The comforter comes to comfort you in situations where you're wondering, what? Why are they listening to? Why? Wait a minute, calm down, baby. This need be. This got to be the way it is. Because don't you remember? Narrow is the gate that leads to what is what? Life. And life is what? Righteous, right? There ain't nobody gonna come in your page. So I love him even in that situation of assuring me that all is well. This need be. So I thank him for that. But like I was saying, when I rolled up into Revelation chapter 20, I said, hold up, what's going on? The party is over. He said, what party are you looking for? I said, Father, this whole world is doomed. Because their whole mindset is totally bent up and bent down. He said, but didn't I tell you the whole earth is out of order? They're out of my order. That's what he said. They're out of his order. So only reason why I'm seeing it like I'm seeing it is because I'm able to see the order in which the Father has orchestrated. And I'm trying to figure out why are these people doing this, or why ain't they getting this? Why can't they understand this? Those last two videos, let me tell y'all something. There was so much anointed in them videos. It was so much power. It was teaching me. Anytime you can get on this devil platform and learn while you speaking, you know what that means, y'all? Do you know what that means? The Holy Spirit is the professor in class. Even though I'm speaking, he was present in class. Why? Because he was teaching me why I speak. And when he does that, and it's not like he don't do it all the time. I said, this message is off the chain, but he don't want me to think that this message is for any and everybody, because it's not. It's these messages is not for any and everybody. That's why he kept saying to me, that's why, Deborah, just that one. I love that, because all of it makes sense. You see? And like I said to you all, if there is a tree, I had to put a puzzle together, and I had to put it together, let's say today, and it's 1 trillion pieces. Right now, Sister Deborah see all the pieces in place. That's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Because what I'm saying to you all, while you all looking for the ice cream man to come on your in your neighborhood that can give back so you can buy you a bump pop or ice cream, let me tell you something. You ain't gonna see him. You ain't gonna see him. Everybody's waiting for something in life. They waiting for something to come along to make it better. They waiting for something they waiting for the things on the earth. Because their hearts and their minds have totally forsaken the things in the heaven, in the kingdom. That's why they're preparing the way they're preparing on the earth. It's because their mindset is that far distance to the reality. Who are you waiting for? I'm the beginning to the end. What are you waiting for? My end is at the door. Where you at? You see, that just shows me this is how I get comfort from him, is seeing in the spirit realm and feeling this time, y'all, in the spirit realm, and hearing this time from him, explaining to me A to Z. Not so that I can master A to Z, because I can only master maybe A to B, maybe to C, but I can't master A to Z, and he don't want me to. But he wants me to always trust in that quiet voice from him that lives in me. And that's another thing, that quiet voice. of who he is. He lives in us. And if he's not living in people for people to not know the beginning to the end, then that's on them. He never was. So everyone thinking, oh, when I cross that bridge, when I get to it, he wants me to let you know there won't be no bridge for you to cross. Let me tell you why. If you go back to Revelation chapter 20, when the sea and the earth saw his face, they took off. They got out the way. They vanished. So what makes you think, little old you, when you get ready and get what you want to be and be what you want to be and do what you want to be, he's going to be there holding the door for you to come on in? No. We are playing and clowning out here for no reason. So let's go to, we're going to go to Ephesians. Let's go. We're going to go to Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4. We're going Ephesians. Oh, took me right there. Ephesians chapter 1, and verse 4 through 6. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4 through 6. According as he has chosen us. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. He going straight on in. According as he have chosen us in him. In him. I'm covering this also because I'm having to write some things down for my mother because I spent some time with her yesterday. And I think I put too much heaviness on her, and I need to go back and kind of make it easy for her. She's like 87, and I don't need to be putting this word on her heavy like this because I believe that the Father has already branded her, to the point where she might not know what I know. But I think the reason why is because if you all heard her, I would use the word love as we know it. Her love for God. You know what I'm saying? Once you hear it and you knew it, the way she communicate, you'll say, when that's a person that definitely love her some creator. That's what you would say. And I don't want her, I want to ease her mind as she get older so she can understand it's no works, Mama. She said, you mean I don't have to work for it? Mama, there's no work in this. Mama, there's no work. You don't have to work. But he said, faith without works. You know what that faith is? Oh, I left my brand. The faith is the brand. The 4 brands that y'all brand. He said, if you represent me, you're going to have some works. That's the faith he's talking about. He ain't talking about your fleshly faith. He's talking about faith, meaning his faith. What did I tell y'all? You have the flesh and you have the spirit. The flesh has faith, understanding. What else? Righteous, belief, and fear. That's the flesh. But you have that faith in the spirit. You see what I'm saying? The righteous in the spirit. The belief, faith, and fear in the spirit. We as human beings, you can tell them by their fruit, because their fruit shows that they only serve that which is in the flesh. That's how you can tell them by their fruit. A lot of y'all don't know that. He said you will know them by the fruit. And let me tell you, the fruit is not something somebody can practice to do. Somebody can learn to do. Those fruits rest in the spirit. That's why they call spirit. Fruit of the what? Spirit. And then you have the fruit of the flesh. When mommy said that, you mean works without faith without works is wait a minute, you have to make, she said faith without works is dead. I said, Mama, that's the church been teaching the people for thousands of years. Faith is a spirit that y'all brand. He's seeing his, you're going to see his, because they're going to represent the faith as the fruit of the spirit of him. See, we're looking over in the flesh. We got to work this time. We got to make this thing look good to everybody. We got to paint the picture real pretty. So when they see the picture, we in there. We got this, we got that. We about this, we about that. That everybody wanting people to see their outer man. But people can't even see their spiritual man. Why? Because there's no fruit there. Because the people are looking at the fruit on the outer man. So mom, I have to be careful dealing with her. That's what the father told me. He said, now, you the one took her to that church. And I said, yep, I sure did. And she's been there since. So he's saying to me that you have to take it easy. You have to take the same word that I've given you. You have to allow it to be applied to as if I have given it to her. You can't see her not knowing faith without works is dead. You can tell her that, but at the age of 87, it's not there, y'all. It's just not there. So it's just, you just spinning in circles. So I have to come, and now she wants me to give her verses to show her what I'm about to show you all. But the way I'm going to give it to her is the way the Father is going to orchestrate me to see it. Because I'm going to give it to you all, but I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to have to give it to her, to where at 87, she's not really going to be able to get it. But if the way the Father suffered me to give it to her, or she'll get it just like that. Why? Because she's still living. Okay? And she needs to be set free. And like I've been telling y'all for the last 2 or 3 videos, set y'all tails free. You don't want to get set free. Stay in bondage. You're in triple bondage now. Because you're in the bondage of the oppressor. You're in the bondage of these nasty mouth men. And you're in the bondage to yourself. Stupidity. So you locked all up from the floor up, from the inside out. Okay? So Ephesians chapter 1, verse 14. According as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. Now, what part of that you don't get? What part of that the people don't get? You see, that right there is setting you free. That right there is setting you free. Why is you saying that, Deborah? Because he's telling you before heaven and earth were created, you were already formed in him. So why are you looking to be justified, clarified, and identified from man and this work? When he's sitting here telling you, wait a minute, hold up. I'm the beginning. Wait a minute. You're the beginning and the end and everything in between. So how can they know the end if they don't know the beginning? Going back to what he was saying in Genesis. If they miss Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, they didn't miss the end. And it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Now listen to this. In Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4. According as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. Okay? I look at that as give and gave. Y'all knows. And that's another thing me and her got on. My mother, 87, understood give and gave over love. Instant, she called it. She said, but sure did. Every word we were saying love, but when it defined love, it's saying give and gave. I was like, I didn't do that in front of her, but I'm just saying, I was just saying, Father, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Now she's 87. She was able to grasp that. We went over scriptures. I don't have to have the Bible. I don't take the Bible nowhere with me. Because the word is, y'all, and he lives in me. So I don't need to take no book to define nothing. All I have to do is speak it as he give it to me. Because greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I even have to tell her that. How can he be greater than you, but yet you need your book? How can he be greater than you and everybody else telling you? No, you ain't going to tell me. Set y'all tails free. Set y'all tails free. Stop getting locked up into all this stuff. But that's the way you're going to die. You're going to be locked up and confused. Set yourself free because that's where we at. The whole world will tell you better try to find some type of, everybody trying to find a cover, a zone, a place of how would you call it? Of safe haven. Everybody trying to find a place, but all the places they trying to find this safe haven for what all coming on the world, ain't nobody going to find themselves in my Father. Nobody's trying to find safe haven in my Father. They so busy trying to find safe haven everywhere on this earth. Oh, let's go over to Africa. Woo, it's over there. Let's go over to Asia. Let's go over here and get some land. Let's go do this and let's go do that. But wait a minute, hold on. When you finish going, have you went in to the land called Yahweh? Have you stepped into that? No, they ain't called up from the floor. That's why you see so many homelands on these devil platforms. They are fixing up from the floor up. You see people building just like he said. Didn't he say they gonna be doing that? Yes, he did. You know what he said? He said it's gonna be like the days of Noah. And you can see him saying also, I think it's in John, where he said, in the days of Lot, it's gonna be like the days of Lot. But with Lot, he said they're gonna be planted. Planting is not what all these people on these devil platforms doing. Let me shut that down, y'all. I'm gonna shut that down right now. Is that not what the people are doing? All these homelands, all these going to buy land. See, what did Sister Deborah tell y'all? Let me go to a land. Give me 6 acres. Give me 5 acres. I sit on that ground and I lay there and look to the sky. I told you I don't need nothing built on it. And my kid said, Mama, yeah, them snakes gonna get your tail. I said, no, as long as he is with me, ain't nothing gonna bother me. But you're gonna be out in them woods. So what? I'm going to just communicate with him, to let him take me from wherever he want me to go from that level. And what level was that? Got my tail on the ground. I got my tail on the ground. I have said that ever since I've been on this devil platform. If I had to get land, I'd be on the ground waiting for him. Why? When David got in trouble, what did he do? He turned to the ground. He turned his face to the ground. But he was king. No. But he was king. No. He was king. No. But his face was to the ground. Why? Because when you in a situation, you got to give him all the glory. You got to give him all the praise. You can't look over here and say, I'm going to grow this and I'm going to build this and I'm going to get this and I'm going to get that. Because what people are saying, me. I got to find my place. And y'all sitting here saying, Deborah, see, they don't even understand. I'm the beginning and the end. And they trying to make their end. See, that's what that turns their heart out of the righteous way of anything right. Because their focus is now, they're all on YouTube and all these platforms talking about homeland, building. Isn't that matching what he said, the days of Noah? What is the purpose of him saying it's going to be like the days of Noah? They're going to be planting. That was one of the words he said. They was going to be planting. Let me pull that up so you can see. Let me pull it up right quick. Let me get that for you. It shall be like the days of Lot. Let's go to Luke 17. Luke 17, verse 28. So you can kind of get, so y'all can kind of, but see, this is where I was trying to explain to you. People escape this. People run from stuff like this. And it's good that you do run, because he said the fruits of the Spirit. This is what people don't need to hear. People don't want to hear, because it identifies who people are. That's what people don't understand. It ain't that you doing nothing. You just identifying who you serve on the earth. That's just it. You serve the flesh. You serve, and if you serve your flesh, who are you serving? Satan. You know, and that's what they don't. Let's get Luke 17, verse 28. In Luke 17 and verse 28. No, let's go to 27. Luke chapter 17 of Luke, verse 27, 28, and 29. We're just going to go down that way. I'm sorry. I know Sister Deborah just all over the place. So I'm going to go from that end. So I'm going to start with 27. They did eat, they drank, they married wives. See, they married wives. They were given in marriage. Given. Somebody was giving them away. Just like the days of Noah. Noah, remember? The men were giving their daughters away. As many as wanted them, they gave them away for this. Sex trafficking, same thing. Okay, now listen to what 27, Luke chapter 17, verse 27. They did eat, they drank, they married wives. They. Y'all don't get this time. Y'all is showing you how messed up the men were then as they are today. Because you notice right here, he says they. As if this marriage ain't got nothing to do with the women. He's letting you know they. Who is they? Back in Genesis chapter 6, it was talking about they. Who were they? Men were multiplying, and they were having daughters. That's who he's talking about. Men having daughters. This is what he's saying here. They represent men. Why? Marrying wives. They marrying wives, taking as many as they please. So when the sons of y'all saw this, they said, no, we want to do what y'all do. That's why they took on it. So y'all is saying, I saw nines down, they cutting up from the floor up with men. So I'm going to have to take them. I'm cutting this out because all their imagination is wicked. It didn't really, honestly, what did it do to the sons of Yah? What did it do to the sons of Yah? They're branded. You see how ignorant they are? You see how they stupid and told y'all they all them lies? They were branded. That's why he had to end it. So that they can still make it in. Because the earth was polluted by men. That's why y'all miss it in Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. It says men begin to multiply. That's what a downfall is and was. Y'all walk around here letting them get away with all this mess. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. I forgot. There's nothing you can do about it. It's over. It's over. But I like the way he left something for us to remember it. Listen to this. Luke chapter 17. Verse 27. They did eat, they drank, they married wives. See, he ain't talking about the females. He calling them they. They mean the men. That's how it was in Genesis chapter 6. And they got away with it. They got away with it just like they got away with Genesis chapter 3, saying woman entertained the serpent. They got away with it. They got away with it. But heaven, he finna show up and show out. And I ain't talking about to a where people, ain't nobody gonna get away with nothing. So I'm gonna let you know that. Now watch this here. And it says, until the day of Noah, until the ark and the flood came and destroyed them. Now right there was a key. A very powerful key, you guys. Connect that with Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. Connect Luke chapter 17 and verse 27. When you bring the connection, and then what is the same in here? The same is they. Who is they? Men. M-E-N. See how they got away with it? They want to blame it on giants. They want to blame it on the sons of Yah. No. He ended so that they can still have their righteous place. But it was because they were looking at what man, born of a woman, was doing with their daughters. They were deceived and tempted by what they saw the multiplying of men having daughters, and they were buying them. They had to buy them as many as they pleased when that was out of order. So as you go down, you can see what he said. In every imagination of their thoughts were wicked and evil continually. See, they don't want to talk about that, y'all, because they lie. They always lie. They're going to continue to lie to you. And it's okay. Let them lie. They can only lie to the one that's lying to themselves. They can only lie to the ones that's lying to themselves. It is over. So what did he say here? And to the ark, verse 27. And another thing I like out of this one here in 27, because it separates the wise away from the chaos. It's letting you know they married wives. See, they was pushing this how would I say, this wickedness. Who is they? See, they ain't gonna tell y'all that, and y'all ain't gonna have sense enough to ask that question, because this shows you the distance of where you think you are. That's why it's so important to get up under somebody that speaking spirit and truth, and you ain't gonna find it. 1 out of 10. That's another sad part, but it's all right with y'all. Either one, each creator. So I like that. Now watch this here. And then you get to verse 28. But you know, you all, Genesis chapter 6, during the flood, if you ever want to know why, it's right there telling you. You're going to start with the beginning, where he's talking about men was multiplying and they begin to have daughters. That's why. That's why. And the sons of Yah saw the men multiplying these daughters and saw what they were doing. That's really what took place. So they desired to buy as many as they please, because that's what it was about. Sex trafficking. And this is the same thing he's sitting here in Luke. Now you backing all up to the new, as they call it. I don't believe in new or old, but as they said. Now, here are instructions and directions giving you a hint that it had some connection to do they marry wives. Why is, if y'all okay men to have as many wives as they please, what is that connection to him ending the world and ending the world here, showing us a sign of how the world is going to end? Why is that, y'all? Have you ever thought? No one thought of that either. Why is it that Genesis chapter 6, Luke chapter 17, verse 27, why is that really connecting they and wives, marrying wives? Come on now. Why are you telling us that's when the end days, Father, y'all? Why do we need to know that? Because that's how it's going to be. Because he's telling you, when they came, he destroyed Noah. This is the reason why. See, we're sitting here thinking that we want to make y'all out of line so that we may live our wicked truth. Yeah, we live your wicked truth. This prophet just went up and pulled up, was driving and pulled up in Revelation 20. Not like I ain't never been up in there, but let me tell you something. The Father showed me something that will blew my mind when I saw, wait a minute, where's the war? Where's the fighting? Where's the fussing? Where's the cussing? He said, who gonna cuss me? You forgot what I told you. No, I didn't forget it, but wait a minute, Father, why is the sea and the earth fleeing from your face? See, that's that power. That's that fear. They know who they messing with. But here are these so-called people who say, we the people, we the children, we the true Jews. Don't have no fear, no concern, no give and gave for one another, nor the great creator who called them to be. But he got something for you. He got something for you. If the sea and the earth runs from his face, if Satan goes straight to the lake of fire without being chained, the beast is there. Everybody's going. Ain't nobody fussing. Ain't nobody arguing. Ain't nobody saying, no, I'm going to fight you. No, they taking their tails right where they are predestined. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all? Something wrong. Something wrong, and it needs to end. This whole world needs to end. It need be. Okay? Now listen to 28. Now he talked about Noah. Now watch this here. Verse 28. Luke chapter 17 and verse 28. Likewise means just like Noah. See, they won't teach y'all that. They won't preach that to y'all. They won't minister that to y'all. They won't say nothing. He said, likewise, because he wants you to know, like unto Noah and what took place then, it's like unto what you're about to read. Now watch this here. Likewise, also as it was in the day of Lot. He's showing you how no one is, oh, Father, wow. What? Let me tell you what he said to me. He said, let me say this here. Let me finish reading this. Verse 28, and I'm going to tell y'all what he just said to me. Luke chapter 17, verse 28. He told me something. He taught me something right here, and I'm going to share it with y'all. Verse 28 says, likewise, also, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, and do y'all see that? They planted, they built. Is that not what they doing? Is that not what the whole house of Israel searching and trying to master? They ain't trying to master your most high, y'all. On one end of their mouth, they saying Yahuwah, y'all. And on the other end, they said, forget you. I've got to go over here and build me a tower. I got to plant and get ready for what you say gonna come on the earth, instead of trying to get ready for Yah himself. They're getting ready for their life on the earth. They better get ready for it, because that's where they're gonna be left. So yeah, that's about right. But see here it is coming from a standpoint of Yeshua. He's telling you, likewise as it was in Noah. They were eating, drinking, and this drinking is meaning liquor, y'all. Beer, all this mess. Why? Because these are the things that take their mind off of the reality of life. These are the things that make them talk stupid, act stupid, and be stupid. So when you see it drinking, wait a minute, let me say this here. You guys, in verse 27, going back to Luke chapter 17, verse 27, when you see the first verse, it says they did eat. What do you see? They drank. You see that word drank? Drop down to 28. It says, likewise also it was in the days of Lot. They ate. What does it say? They drank. And they bought. Ain't that's what everybody buying? Land. Ain't everybody building on their land? And what else are they doing? They selling stuff off their land. And what else? And they planting and building. You see? Why? Why we want to make Yeshua and Yah alive, so we can live some type of truth on this earth, because we're wicked and evil. That's where our heart really is. It's connected to the wicked and evil. Because right here, it's actually showing you, while we're sitting here talking about the heathens and the Gentiles and the oppressed, Yeshua is speaking of us. I know it. Y'all send y'all tails around letting these men, and especially these men, tell y'all all these lies. It's too late for you to even think anything different, because you've been rooted in it. He allowed you to be rooted in it to where you can't. People couldn't stand to stay on this video, because see, they can't take the truth. The truth is like their enemy, so they have to go to the truth that gives them the energy to say, oh, you're a king, you're a leader, you're a ruler. But they won't look into this and see the truth of the whole matter, which calls spirit and truth. You've been lied to. Now, in both of these, he's telling you, actually, he ain't talking to the world. Who did Yeshua come to? See, y'all didn't know that either, did you? You still don't know it. Who did he come to? Didn't you hear the Hebrew Israelite? He came to his own people. Why ain't he talking to you then? Here in Luke chapter 17, verse 27 and 28, who do you think he's talking to? You think he's talking to the heathens and Gentiles? Y'all sick. Y'all sicker than sick if you think that these verses is talking to the Gentiles. Those verses ain't talking to the Gentiles, because he already know the Gentiles going to do the Gentiles. He's telling you what the Hebrew Israelites are going to be doing. Now, how you like him now? See, y'all thought he was just talking to the world, didn't you? Oh, yeah, they talking to the oppressors and the Gentiles. No, no. When Yeshua came, he wasn't talking to no Gentiles. He was talking to you. Now, what you gonna say now? Since you the people, you the children, you the two Jews, we the people. Now, and he talking to his people? And wait a minute, hold on, Father Yah. Ain't he talking to his people? No, y'all don't want to claim that. Y'all don't want to embrace that. Y'all don't want to accept that because we want to live a lie. And the lie is there to live anyway, because the broad gate is there. The lie is there anyway. And I said, Father, they don't even need no deceiver. The lie is there anyway. They're going to go by the lie anyway. Then they go by the truth. Now, that's a good question. That is a powerful question. If you go to Luke chapter 17, verse 26, 27, and 28, he's talking about the Hebrew Israelites. He's talking about them. Now, when he's talking about them, he's just letting you know how they ain't going to be no ready than nobody else. But I'm talking to them. So was he around the Gentiles? Let's say this here. When Yeshua was here and he's saying this to Red, is he talking to the Gentiles? Are he talking over there to the Gentiles? Or is he talking to the Hebrew Israelites? So did not he tell Peter them? Wasn't he training this to them too? He told them to go out to what? Don't go to the Gentiles, didn't he? Come on now, talk to me. You see how we are lying people? We have always been against Yah. We have always been against the Most High Yah. And we're going to always be. And that's why he got something real nice and pretty for us. Because when you see Luke 17, and it's telling you what the men are going to be doing, marrying wives. This is a time period. Yeshua is telling you, y'all, it's going to be a time period. They're going to be doing all this here. That's wicked and evil, all the way to the end. He's telling you, they're going to be doing this all the way to the end. Now, they ain't in their oppressive land because of the curse. But they're still doing it. So Yeshua ain't lying. In Genesis chapter 1, in Genesis chapter 6, when the back in the days of Noah, that wasn't no lie. You can get 1,500 different religions at one table. They'll call you a lie if you say that didn't happen, the days of Noah. They'll call you a lie. Even though they might have a different God, they different belief, and they worshiping idols, they ain't gonna tell you, they gonna tell you the world did end. See, you can't escape truth, y'all. You can't escape spirit and truth. No matter which door you try to go in to get away from it, it's going to hit you where it needs to, in the front and in the back and on every side. Now, right here, I'm sitting here listening to this and kind of erase what I was what he was giving me. And that was in verse 28. Likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot. Hebrew Israelites. What was it like, Father? Yeshua, they did eat, Deborah. They drank. They bought. They sold. They planted. And they built. Do you really think he's talking to the Gentiles? Come on now. Gentiles gonna do what they do best. They ain't going nowhere with it. What they built gonna come down. But he's just showing you. Yeshua is talking to the Hebrew Israelites, y'all. And if you sit here and you make a lie and say that they ain't out here drinking, and you make a lie and say these men ain't out here marrying these wives, if you trying to make him a lie and say that they're not out here selling and buying and planting and building, because they think they're going to build them a tower and they're going to make it to heaven themselves. That's why, y'all. So don't think because you see a lot most of them, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I'm going to tell y'all the truth about what I've seen as a prophetess. I've seen about 12, maybe more than that. Maybe more than 12 that has built their homes and bought land and then planting and building and preparing. None of them put the Father ahead. Not one. Not one. Not one. And I will not lie to you. Not one. Speaking spirit and truth. Not one saying they doing it for the Father, as the Father lead them and guide them, or putting him above. All they so busy doing is they farm landing, making a check, so they don't have these men, so they don't have to work. They can go out there and build and be out there doing work, and then you'll hear them throw in God. This is for God, or Yahoo this and Yahoo that. That's as far as you can get out of their mouths. That's as far as you're gonna get out of. It's a sad thing, because when it was something he was told me once. I didn't even see. Oh, Father, give that back to me. Likewise, also is telling you that. I know it. It's best that we say it's the heathen, it's the Gentiles he talking about. It's the oppressor. We putting them all up in. Now we want to step out of what Yeshua said. It ain't us he talking about. They doing this, they building, they selling. No, baby, they was doing that from the beginning. He talking to you. What you gonna be doing in the last days? The same wicked thing they were doing in Lot. The same wicked things they were doing in the days of Noah. You ain't be doing nothing no better. You see how you can't escape truth? But people live, their way of escaping truth is to lie. They need you all. They won't survive without you. It's just like this world wouldn't survive without us acting a fool. If we had our head on right, if we did something righteous and just, they wouldn't survive. That's true. If we did something righteous and just by serving our Creator who chosen us as his children, this world couldn't survive. They could. Only way they survive, especially the United States and others, you know how they survive, you guys? On us acting a fool. That's how they survive. They survive based on us killing each other, hating each other, destroying each other, destroying our property, destroying everything we get. They survive on that. But if we were the people that would show them that we got a Creator that we serve, and we put him on the highest pedal, oh, it'll be on. But we ain't got that sense. We ain't had it, because before we got over here, we were doing exactly what we're doing here in all these lands on the four corners. We were doing the same thing in the promised land, floating with milk and honey. A land that he called holy. We was up there cutting up from the floor. We just that ugly people. So and then when you get to verse 29, we in Luke chapter 17 and verse 29. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire, brimstones from heaven and destroyed them all. Now, if Yeshua telling us this is the way it's going to be in the end, before the Son of Man come, do you all really believe that he ain't talking to the Hebrew Israelites? See, that's the problem with us. We're getting away with too much mess. We're doing things, we're saying things, and we're conducting ourselves in such an ugly way. We're getting away with too much mess. I stand back and I watch how they we disgrace our own self. I ain't gonna sit and tell you no lie. Let's go. Father, Yah. Let me go to my next verse, because that bothers me. To think that we think we getting away with something. And we think that it's going to be okay that we be still likened to when he end the world in Genesis. He end the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, and we thinking in this day and time, oh, he's going to end it, but we are all going to the New Jerusalem. Okay, see that right there tells you something gone. Something mentally gone. Okay, in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4, it says, according as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we shall be holy and without blame before him in love. I say give and gave, but let's say he say blame. We shall be without blame. Who is he talking to? He's talking to us because he's talking to those that he has branded. He branded you, and that's a part of choosing you. A lot of people think it's the Hebrew Israelites. No, baby. The reason why you're not gonna be blameless is because when he sent you down here, he's brand you. So when he sent you down, he already know that you're gonna be the one to come back. So he branded you. You see, he branded you for his name's sake. That means you are in the Lamb Book of Life, and that's the part I try to explain to my mother, that if you're branded with righteous faith, belief, and fear, that's his brand. That's why he says faith without works. He talking about spiritual works, y'all. You can't please y'all with this fleshly works. Faith is the substance of things unseen, but yet believed, because it is spirit. So he's saying faith without the work of it has spirit connected to it, meaning minds. They gonna do things, they gonna say things, but they gonna have some work behind them, because I branded them for my name's sake. And when I see them again, I'm gonna hold them blameless. Hey, you over here. What did Yeshua say? Come on here, sheep. Goats, you get on the left. We know where you going. Sheep, come on over here. Taking them to the throne of Yah. What did he say? For this is what you were prepared for before the foundation of the world. You see? Yah ain't finna blame you for nothing. He ain't gonna judge you in any shape, form, or fashion when you got them brands on you. That means you already in the Lamb Book of Life. Okay, now in verse 5, we in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 5, having predestined us until the adoption of the children by Yeshua HaMashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. See, Yeshua HaMashiach, Yeshua is the blood sacrifice. HaMashiach is the right hand power of Yah. He brought you right back to the bosom of Yah. For what? According to himself. He did that. Watch this here. According to the good pleasure of his will. That's Yah. He letting you know, I'm going to hold you blameless. But Deborah, just because I'm going to hold you blameless, you don't get out there and cut up from the floor. You don't go out there and do the things that you know displease me. You all, let me tell y'all something. I think I woke up 3 times in the midnight hour repenting. That I just want to serve you and be right with you. Who wakes up and say stuff like that and go back to sleep? Who wakes up in the midnight hour and just say, Father, help me to be the best that you know I can be. I just want to serve and do your will. Bam. Get back up. I did that 3 times last night. You know why? Do y'all know why that happened? That happens because when your spirit is detached with his spirit, we are one. And at any time, he'll shake you and make you while he's in you. And he's causing me to speak in the spirit to him. Because when you sleep and you just waking up, you all of a sudden you find yourself in prayer. You like saying your mind ain't there because you know you sleep. And you wonder, but I tell you what I be doing. I be saying, oh man, what time is 3? Start talking. Next thing I know, I'm back to sleep. Wake up again. 3 hours later, saying it's something different, but I know who I'm talking to. It's like he's sitting right there in the bed with me. Just talk to me. Talk to me while you can. Talk to me while you can. Because sometimes that's what he have to do. Prepare you while you sleep. Because that flesh is ugly. He need to get you where he know he can commune with you when your flesh is not thinking and ain't functioning. And what is that? When you sleep, you wake up and you go into prayer. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. In Ephesians chapter 1, verse 5, having predestined us until the adoption of the children by Yeshua HaMashiach to himself. To himself. He letting you know, hey, I'm himself. Through. They come to adopt you through the blood and through the power. It's going to bring you back to me. Why? Because you already in me. You're in the Lamb Book of Life. This is why you don't need to be up under people, buckling up to all these ways of the world and all these ways of these so-called teachers and preachers and prophets and prophetess and seers and Maury. Y'all. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, Father, y'all. And then the last verse is 6. To the praise of the glory of his grace, wherein he has made us acceptable in the beloved. Acceptable in the beloved. See? Where is blame at? Verse 4. Without blame. He's sitting here telling us, and we still want to walk the way of the world. We still want to do the things of the flesh. We still want to be hooked up to everything that's in the dark. We still want to connect to all this mess on television and on your workplace, and where you just everybody want to everybody want to be seen. Everybody want to be known. Everybody want to be a part of something. How about getting a part of who he is in the real form? Can't do that, can you? Can't do that, can you? Try going there. How about that? How about that? Try going there. How about that? Can't go there, can you? Okay, let's go to 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy had something to say. Now, all in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4 through 6. He's sitting here telling y'all, I did that. I did that at the beginning, y'all. Before heaven and earth was created, I had you. I predestined you. I ordained you before the foundation of the world. See me, see me, see me. And they going like they don't know where he's at. He can't be found. That's the mindset. And I believe, without a doubt, people like that, they lost. They're lost. 2 Timothy. That's another good one. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 9. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 9. And it reads, who has saved us and called us with a holy calling. And see, if he didn't put holy there, then people can grip this here and they can say, see, he called us. Many are called, few are chosen. Oh, we saved. People run around here talking about we saved. Baby, what is saved? What is saved? And the definition of people saved is all over the place. You ain't saved nothing. Have you been sanctified, first of all? That means set aside for the Father's will. Have you tried that? Have you ever thought about that? Okay, listen to this. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 9. Who have saved us. See, when you sit here running, I'm saved and sanctified. I'm saved. Wait a minute. Who saved you? Who saved you? And you don't even know the beginning. You don't even know the end. You just all in between, cutting up from the floor and saying, I'm in there, I'm in there, I'm in there. Verse 9, who has saved us and called us with a holy calling. That word holy, that shut everything down. That'll shut you down, y'all. That holy will shut you down. That means he ain't talking to you. That means you can't mimic this one. You can't go around and say, oh, I'm saved and I'm holy. No, you can't say you're holy because that's spiritual. He's talking about spirit. Watch this here. In verse 9, he says, and called us with an holy calling, not according to our works. He letting you know, flesh stand down. This ain't got nothing to do with you. So while you run around here opening your mouth, talking about I'm saved and I'm sanctified, I'm in there. You ain't in nothing. He's sitting here telling you, holy are you called. And then he says what? Not according to your works. Letting you know the work of your hand, of your flesh. That's not how you save. And that's what a lot of them telling people. See the work? See what we building? See what we planting? See the woods, the acres we bought? We doing the work. You a fool, and you a fool. You ain't doing nothing but being a fool. Because that's not the works. Not the spiritual works. That's not even the natural works. That's you stealing from everybody else to build up your empire on earth where you're going to remain. Now, listen to this. And it says, but not but according to his own purpose and grace. Now, listen to what he's saying. Now, I know y'all, this is going to go over your head. I know it is. Listen to this. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 9. Who have saved us, Yah. Who called us, Yah. With an holy calling, Yah. Watch this here. Not according to your flesh, but according to his own. Who is that? Yah. His own, I keep losing my page, his own purpose and grace. So who are you? Oh yeah, you saved. It's saved as saved can be. See what time it's going to be pretty soon for you. You see, this is where we messed up. We don't give him the credit that's due him. We want to lie and pretend that we can work this thing, and we in there. And that's what all the big mega churches and all the churches and everything that's around, that's what they do. They pretend that they are in there. I got this. We saved, we sanctified, we holy, we did. Use a food, and use a food. Okay. Now it says, which was given us in Christ. You see Christ first. You see the word Christ before Yeshua. He wants you to know. Watch this here. And I bet, I ain't gonna say I bet. I mean, I say stuff like that. Watch this here. Verse 9. Watch this here. Who have saved us, called us with a holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his own purpose and grace, which was given us in the power of Yeshua before the world began. The Lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. And your name was written in the Lamb book of life by the Christ, which is the right hand of the Father, his power. So he letting you know you was wrote in by the power, who is Christ, through the blood in the Lamb book of life. It ain't got nothing to do with you. None of it have anything to do with you. I know it. Y'all cutting up from the floor. Y'all making people think that you all this and all that. That's why I tell y'all, free. Set yourself free from all this clowning. All this stuff you doing in the flesh to try to make you say that you holy. You ain't holy because you making yourself look holy to your flesh. You ain't called because your mouth said you called. You ain't saved because your mouth said you saved. It's telling you right here. Heaven had already orchestrated who's who and what's what. When I shared that with my mother, I didn't say it like that, child. I know I had to meet her where she at. She was so happy. Because it's setting you free. It's letting you know all this clowning ain't necessary. Why are we out here acting a fool with the foods? Because everybody supporting the foods. You hear people putting up videos that don't make any sense. But you know what? Like he said, the world is for the world. Let them cut up from the floor for the world. For they have no lane to run in, because I haven't given them one. So they don't have a lane, Deborah. So let them run in the lane in which they think they are. Because I haven't given them that. Because they speak no spirit and truth about nothing. Spirit and truth. And what he said is they identify these people by how many subscribers and likes and praise, who supports them. That's how they identify these people as being righteous. Oh, they in there because they got this. That's how they see it. He said that's the eyes of the flesh. The whole ideal of the flesh falls for that. And that's why the broad gate is so broad. Now, another one he came to was John, chapter 17 of John. He gave me John chapter 17. And did you all know I wasn't planning on going through this here. I got other topics I was to cover, but I decided to write these down as he gave them to me. Pretty much showing you that this thing ain't about how we are trying to role play it. But he said, if you want to role play it. Role play it up, role play it down. Go on, be a clown. Verse John chapter 17 and verse 5. Let's go there. In John, in the Gospel of John, chapter 17 and verse 5, it reads, "And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thy own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was." Now here is Yeshua. He's saying, asking the Father to glorify him with thy own self, with the glory which I had before the world was. You have to understand, this is Yeshua. So he's letting you know he existed before the world was. So just because you see him coming and laying his life down on the cross, we even got that bit. He said, nobody didn't take my life. I laid it down. We don't get that either. You know why we don't get it? We too into the understanding of the way man, flesh, wants to teach this thing. We don't want to hear it in spirit and truth. We just want it the way man said it is. Oh, it's what he said. Oh, that's the way it is. But here he said, wait a minute. The Gospel of John, chapter 17, verse 5. "And now, O Father," he's praying, "glorify thou me with thy own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was." See? Before the world was. Don't forget now. The Lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. See, this is what he was saying, you guys, about not knowing what took place before the foundation of the world. Here go Yeshua speaking it to you. So when Sister Deborah thinking that, okay, Father, you taught me what took place before the foundation of the world. You taught me that as a little girl and a preteen, a young teen. You showed me that the things took place before the foundation of the world. You know what? I can say to you all, it is written in this here book, in instructions and direction, but the only way you can be led by the Spirit to understand it. So it wasn't that he gave Sister Deborah something that he didn't give everybody. He just taught Sister Deborah himself, one-on-one. Because here go Yeshua saying the same thing before the foundation of the world. We just read Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4 through 6. "I predestined you before the foundation of the world. I chosen you." 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 9, same thing. Well, what is it we're not getting about the beginning? So how do you know what the end is going to be like when you don't even know what the beginning was? So how can you say anything? You can't. Y'all, you can't preach, you can't teach, you can't minister, you can't do anything because you don't know the beginning to the end and nothing in between. And this is what he was saying. He said, Deborah, if they missed the Genesis chapter 1, Genesis chapter 2, they missed the whole thing. It is so true. It is so true. How can you jump to the end and not know the beginning? Or how can you hear the beginning with no end? Isn't he Alpha and Omega? Isn't he the beginning and the end? So if you don't know the beginning, how do you know the end? And if you don't know the end, how do you know the beginning? You don't. It's a gameplay. Flesh is teaching it. Satan is well, I need to stop blaming Satan on a lot of stuff. I really need to stop blaming him because y'all said this flesh is something there. This flesh is something. When I sat and rolled on up in Revelation chapter 20, I said, hold up, wait a minute, what's going on yonder? What's going on up in here, Father? Yeah. And I seen all his order. I'm like, oh, I like this. Oh, I love it. Because he just showing me. He said, I learned something, you guys. I roll up in there and all of a sudden hear that the sea and the earth fled from his face. Woo-wee! You fled from his face. The sea, woo, the earth fled. When that sea and that earth saw the Father's face, it fled. It ended. Then he told me something that was very powerful, you guys. He said, Deborah, you know the grave that they put us in? You know, when you die, this body die, and it goes to the grave. That grave is called hell. It's death, hell. We put into the grave. Did you know when he called the spirits of death, those spirits that's dead, when he called them to judge them, do you know he's going to take the whole grave and hell and put it in the lake of fire? I'm like, wait a minute, Father. Oh, it makes so much sense. Oh, it makes so much sense. Because this is what he said. You know how you've been telling the people they are their own worst enemy? Who are they? Your flesh. Your flesh. Say, for instance, Sister Deborah died. And she's in the grave for 15 years. When it's time for judgment, if I'm going to hell, I'm going to, my spirit is going to rise and stand before the throne. But that flesh that been in that grave 15 years, that flesh going to the lake of fire. Because it's already in hell. That's the grave. The Father was showing me how the flesh is created to go to hell. I learned that this week. I had no idea. I'm thinking the spirits, I know they go to the lake of fire. Wait a minute, hold on, Father. Yeah, you mean the flesh? If I'm in the grave for 15 years, my bones is still there and my flesh is turned to powder into the, but guess what? He's booking all that mess up. And you know what? You see how the sea and the earth fled from y'all's face. Hell, the grave, he got a destiny for them in the lake of fire. See, I didn't know that, you guys. I did not know it, and it makes sense because all of our bones and our bodies and our powder flesh or whatever is going to the lake of fire. It's going to be in the lake of fire too. That's why our body is our worst enemy. Because it knows already that it's going to the lake of fire. We run around here talking about Satan going to the lake of fire. The beast and the false prophet going to the lake of fire. You going to the lake of fire too. Your flesh that's in that grave, well, you ain't gonna know nothing about your flesh going there. Yes, you will. Because it's going to the lake of fire. The grave is going to the lake of fire. And your spirit is going to the lake of fire. That's what he said. Sending your tails to the lake of fire. Father, that is so deep. I wouldn't have never thought of nothing like that. But it makes so much sense. Because Sister Deborah said to you all over and over and over that your flesh is your worst enemy. It don't give a rat's behind about you. It don't care. And you run around here putting it on a pedestal above the Creator. And it don't give a rat's behind about you. Why? Because it's going to the lake of fire too. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Let's go there. Let me show you where it says that. Revelation chapter 20. In Revelation chapter 20, it blew my mind when the Father was, how he had to break it down. I was like, ooh, I said, Father, that's why we are our own worst enemy, our flesh. See, y'all run around here talking about Satan this and Satan this and Satan this, the demons and the devils and the white man, the heathen. Okay, let's see what we can see. Let's read that. Let me show you. Go to Revelation chapter 20, verse 14. Revelation chapter 20, verse 14. Look at this. And death and hell. See, a lot of people don't know hell is the grave. You know how Sister Deborah died, she go into the grave? That's hell. Okay? Death is the flesh. It goes into hell. So he's saying here, death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the death. Woo-wee! The lake of fire. Hell, the grave, gonna be cast into the lake of fire. The reason what, up at the top of that, in verse 12, where it says, the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books. There's a difference from the book and the books. Those that are written in the books are those who are of that's going to the hell according to their works. Their works is going to he's going to judge them on their works, showing them that their works didn't match his work. Okay, so and verse 13, and the sea gave up its dead, meaning those that were dead, the dead in the sea, which are the spiritual dead. They're gonna give up. The sea gonna give up its dead, meaning they gonna who died in the sea. They're gonna stand before their spirit. Their spirit is dead. Their spirit is dead. Okay, gonna give up. Verse 13, and the sea gave up the dead which was in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. That's the grave. The grave. Everybody's spirit gonna come out of the grave. Okay, everybody's spirit gonna come out of the sea. Okay, or wherever the spirit rests during the time they died. A lot of them in the sea. That's why he said they're gonna give up the sea, but they are dead already. Meaning that's their end game. They're dead. D-E-A-D. That's what he was saying to that's what he was saying to Adam in the garden. You shall surely die. And Satan said, you shall surely die. He said, you shall surely die. And Satan said, you shall surely die. You shall surely die. Satan said, you shall surely not die. See, Satan didn't know that's the death he was telling Adam, that he would die. That death, had he known. But you all have been knowing. It doesn't make any difference from Adam to you, nope. Because you already know what's what. That's why I say a lot of people run around here trying to figure out their purpose, their destiny. It's because you ain't got none. You ain't got none. Because you ain't searching nothing but what you want to feel that is okay for you. You feel you got your own purpose. You got your own destiny. See, when you allow y'all to come in and tell you, wait a minute, stand down. I run this. Nobody don't want that. What they say, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. That's a known fact. Why is it they don't want to die? Because death of the flesh wants to live forever. But their spirit wants to go on to make it to the kingdom. But they flesh, they don't want to die. They don't want to die. So here it tells you that the grave, the hell in which we are buried in, it's going to the lake of fire too. Our spirits are going to be judged before Yah. There's going to be those that now those that are dead. The dead spirits are going to be judged based on their works. They got to tell what they did so he can send them to the lake of fire. But what I like about pulling up in 20, ain't nobody hooping and hollering. Ain't nobody fighting. Because y'all said, who they going to fight? Not this right hand, I know. See, it's over. See how simple it is? While we down here clowning. Like we don't know that he is king. I'm not king. He's the creator of all things. He's the beginning and the end. Take him at that. Stop trying to make him like a flesh of a stinking man. The Most High Yah. Okay? So I learned that. I was like, oh, I'm going to be pulling up in Revelation all the time. Because, see, I had no idea. But it makes so much. That's why I said I ain't got no more puzzle pieces, y'all. He gave me all the pieces. Because when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is a treat. Yes, it was. I felt it was a treat from y'all. Now, we was in John 17. Let's go to John. Stick with John 17 and verse 24. John 17, verse 24. And it says, Father, I will that they also whom thou hast given me. What is Yeshua saying? Father, the one that you already given me. See, he ain't trying to claim nothing for himself. See how we are? We ain't down here giving y'all the glory and the praise and the honor. Here go Yeshua sitting here saying all that. Father, I will that they also whom thou hast given me. He recognized. That's why you won't find a man on this earth that want to mimic Yeshua. They wouldn't come behind Yeshua. They wouldn't even walk nowhere near. They don't want to follow him. They don't want to mimic him. They don't even want to walk nowhere near. But they want to talk to you and tell you what's what. They want to control you and tell you what to wear, what to look like, how to eat, how to dress, how to keep the commandments, how to keep the law. Shut your ugly mouth. Okay, in John chapter 17 and verse 24, it says, Father, I will that they also whom thou hast given me. When did he give that to you? When did he give them to you? Be with me where I am, that they may behold my glory, which thou hast given me. You see, to give it. For thou loveth me before the foundation of the world. Y'all, you done all this before the foundation of the world. Why is it that we missed all that, y'all? Yeshua, because we never got behind Yeshua HaMashiach. We never got behind Yeshua HaMashiach. Who is HaMashiach? He's the head of the body. He's Christ. He's the head. He's the power. We never got behind it. That's why we can't do nothing now. We get behind all these pages, start liking and subscribing, supporting, praising, putting them on pedestal. That's what we get behind. But we ain't never thought to get behind Yeshua. And that's why we can't do the miracles and signs and wonders. That's why we can't see Yah for who he is. Because Yeshua kept telling us, this is him, he this, he this, he this. We didn't want that. We want what we can see and believe. We need man to tell us he's the king, he's the Lord. That I wouldn't let nobody tell me that following man while he followed Christ. What did Paul say? Follow me as I follow Christ. But if you don't see me follow him, don't follow. That's what Paul said. Follow me as I follow Christ. He's telling you, follow me as I follow the power. Thank you. Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ. If you see me not following Christ, don't follow me. That is so true. But you can't get these people. The world is gone. It's over. It's finished. That's why all the puzzle pieces is together already. It's finished. They never followed Christ. So even Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ. They didn't get that either. They didn't understand. But you know what I do understand? You see a lot of, I'm going to tell you about that later. But here it is. He's telling the Father. He's communicating the Father. Yeshua is communicating with the Father regarding how it was before he was on the earth. Just letting them know. Just letting them know. And that's what I'm talking about. Let's hit Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 13. See, people don't want to take heed to stuff. They don't want no change. They don't want no hear nothing. They don't want to hear no. And I see all these let me stop saying heathen. I see all these Gentile prophets and coming up. These white ladies and white men pulling all up on YouTube. Everybody's a prophet. Everybody pulling on up. I mean, they just pulling on up in the lane. All of them getting a parking spot. Everybody's a prophet. And I'm like listening to them. I listen to them, y'all. I listen to anybody. Because when y'all showed me how that dog was barking, he said he talking to you. He said something to you. You should have been listening. I said, I asked the Father, why is that dog barking like that? Because that was just an unusual bark. What is he doing? What is it? And then he broke it down to me. Something took place about 2 hours later, and he told me, did you hear the dog bark? He was telling you then. I was like, I knew that dog was saying something because I asked the Father when I was walking, what's going on with that dog? He's saying something. Because I'm really, I ain't going to say it like that, but I can discern even the dog bark, you see. And that's what confused me because I could hear what he said, but I knew he wasn't supposed to be talking. I knew he wasn't supposed to be saying something I can understand. So I said to the Father when I was walking, what is that dog saying? That voice don't sound right. I was walking saying that. So when it was setting the pace for what was going to happen at the laundromat 2 hours later, And then what the father brought back to me, he said, you remember that dog barking? It was to teach me that a person don't have to. And what happened at the laundromat, let me get y'all that. What happened at the laundromat, I was washing clothes, and this one man that had been drinking, he came in with his teenage son, and he was telling his son, do this, do this, do this. And he was just as drunk. But this man began to talk about, he was breaking the scriptures down and talking about how good he is and how great, how excellent, how he saved him and how he'll never forget what he's done for him. And then this other lady said she was a prophetess and her husband was a pastor. And they were young too. They were no more than 25 years old. And they were saying, well, how are you talking about God and you drunk? And then Sister Deborah had to step in and sing. That's what he put me there for. That's why Sister Deborah had to pull up on in there. And I listened to him try to give this drunk man a hard time. I said, hold up. You say you what? He said, I'm a pastor. And my wife is a prophetess. I said, hold up, stand down. I said, first and foremost, who started talking about our Creator? Did you, pastor? Did you, prophetess? Who brought in the atmosphere about our Creator, our Father in the heaven? You know who did that? This drunk man right here. So how are you going to make him and degrade him because he's drunk? But can a drunk man speak of my Father? You didn't. You didn't bring the atmosphere. You didn't. Your wife that's a prophetess, y'all the one talking about him. Y'all will pull up with anybody. He don't have to answer to us. But when I finished preaching in that laundromat, we had about 7 or 8 people, and the pastor and his wife apologized to the man because the man was just going off on his son and just really, but he kept talking about this God. And then when it was all done, I was like, Father, what was all that about? He said, remember that dog you passed by earlier today? I said, a dog? He said, yeah. Remember you passed by that dog and you can discern what he was saying? He said, see, be always ready. Be always ready, even if it's a dog barking, to discern the bark of a dog. So we had a good time that night because we all left feeling good. And the young pastor and his prophetess wife, they repent and they asked him to forgive them because really, honestly, I'm a prophetess. She's a prophetess. He's a pastor. We didn't pull up with the Father's name. Not so much his name, but saying how good he is, how this man was talking about how he just thanked God for being all that he's been to him. He saved my life. He just been loving on me and I ain't got my life right. He cares so much about me. He's so great and he's so excellent. He was talking about how he said how God has changed his life. And I know y'all thinking I'm a bad man because I'm drinking and I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm drinking. He was drunk. He wasn't drinking. He didn't have a bottle in there. But he was just talking and y'all use that same example. He was preparing me earlier that day for that evening when that man done that. He was just showing me. That's how he deal with me is, he puts me in situations where I have to see what he's showing me. And every time it's a spiritual realm, y'all. That's why I said we can't take this book and make it spiritual. No. You got to pull up with the ruah. See, you can't take this book and make it spiritual. You got to pull up with the ruah in this book. You know how many men hands been in smeared this book? Y'all really don't know how the Roman Catholic then went all up in it and all up out of it. But guess what? Y'all's fingers still will lead and guide you. He'll smear it up so you can get it. But you got to pull up with his spirit in this book. You can't go try to teach this book without the ruach. You can't go teach, and that's what they're doing. That's why they can't speak spirit and truth, because they can't pull up with the ruach. They pull up with their flesh, they precepts, they lying, they little here, they Torah, they Greek, they Hebrew, baby. That ain't it. That's why Yeshua said, I ain't come to mess with y'all commandments nor y'all laws. I ain't come to deal change what the prophet. I come in the spirit realm. That's what he said. They're too ignorant to get it. They was too ignorant then, they ignorant now. Yeshua said, I ain't coming to pull up in the flesh. I'm coming to pull up in the spirit. And matter of fact, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That means the power of the Father is on the earth. It's at hand reach. I come to preach the power, which is the gospel. They missed it then. And now, since he have taught me that if they missed Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, they have missed it all. They missed it all. So almost telling you, if they miss the perfect stage, they done missed the whole stage. Because you got the beginning got showing you the way that was perfect and what took place. So if you do away with not knowing that little short time when there was no sin, how are you going to be able to see sin in any of it? You can't. You're just running around here teaching and preaching because your flesh have called you to this calling. Okay. Now, what was that? That was Revelation. What did we get? Revelation 13. Did we get it? Revelation 13 and verse 8. Let's go there. Revelation 13 and verse 8. And what is it saying? And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slaughtered before the foundation of the world. See, it's telling you right there. The Lamb book of life is written. It's written. Those who are not written the book, they're going to follow in every way. And that's what you're seeing in the world today. And it's a sad thing because that's what people chose. It's a sad thing. So today, like I said, I was listening to I think I listened to at least 6 different female that said that they are prophetess and probably Gentiles, female who said they prophetess. I'm like, listen to them. I'm like, okay, this is what he was saying. He said, be careful. They come to deceive. Why? Because they ain't giving no spirit of truth. You think he's sending them down here to tell you he's finna get good? You finna get a job and you gonna get prosper? Come on now. Now, honestly, some of them were saying some things that make me say, ooh, wait, they in there. I ain't gonna sit and I'm gonna give them that. I'm telling you, some of them were saying something. I'm saying, ooh, wee, you in there, which is good. But there are, the majority of them are saying stuff that don't make any sense. But what has happened is they got on this devil platform. They seeing everybody doing it and how easy it is. And they going for it. They're going for it. Now, in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 8, it says, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose name are not written in the Lamb book of life, in the life of the Lamb slaughtered before the foundation of the world. So, see, he's telling you this here. This is what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to worship the wicked and evil and the things of Satan and what is evil and wicked. When are they supposed to do that, Deborah? Before the foundation of the world, they was assigned to that. See? While y'all sitting here thinking you know him, you don't know him. Because everybody is assigned to who they are. So while you thinking this is your life, nobody tell me what to do, and nobody, I got my own life, that I can live my own life, baby, you ain't had no life. Because the life that you breathing is the breath of life of my Father. So what life do you have? If he took his breath of life back, what life would you have? Your tail will fall flat on the ground. So tell me about your life. What life do you have? You see how ignorant we are? Oh, this is my life. I got one life to live. Nobody tell me what to do. Baby, you ain't had no life. They just never taught you that. See how righteous? No one never taught people righteousness. Because the righteous truth is he told you in the beginning. Didn't he say that? If they miss it at the beginning, they're going to miss it at the end. In the beginning, he told you, I gave you that breath of life. That's my life. And you running and hooping and hollering, talking about life. My life. Nobody tell me to do. I make my choice. You ain't got no choice but go into that bathroom and use it whenever it's time. Outside of that, you ain't got no other choice. Because here, read it. What does it say? Revelation chapter 13 and verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. Worship who? Who is he talking about? The beast. Why? Why is this saying it? because it's already a sign that you're on that side before the foundation of the world. So what life do you have but to be stupid and to continue to do the wicked and evil that's upon this earth that people are leading people to do and believe? No spirit and truth. Just follow any wicked and evil. And that's my life. Yeah, that's your life. Everything they put sugar in everything. They're killing us day by day. But by his grace and his mercy, woo, everything got to bow down. Stand down. I got grace and mercy on them. I got grace and mercy. And a lot of them won't even give him the credit that's due him there. You know what grace and mercy means? That means that grace and mercy is going to hold up my plan. And can't no anybody just come up riding up in there trying to destroy something because my grace and mercy is going to hold it up. So how you like them now? Okay, so here it's telling you that those that's not in the book of life is going to automatically follow the beast. And that's what you see today. And that's what he said to me right now. So Deborah, everybody that's following the broad gate, let them follow it. That's where they assigned. Did Solomon explain that to you? I said, yeah, he did explain it. But you know, Solomon dead. I'm living this sign, seeing it for what Solomon was saying. You see? So I'm like, because the realness of it, what he was saying. So this is your portion. Cut up from the floor up. This is your portion. Enjoy what you have. Enjoy what you're trying to get. Enjoy what you're trying to build. Enjoy what you're trying to eat. Enjoy what you're trying to drink. Enjoy all the wives you're trying to get. Enjoy it. Because Father says that's your portion on the earth. Because heaven has assigned you all the things you bring pleasure to yourself in the flesh on the earth. That's deep. That's deep. That's showing you that all this crap that people are sitting here bringing pleasure to, them flesh, lust, wives, adultery, abomination, homosexual, alcohol, drugs, glutton, greed, partying, feasting, growing, planting, building, and then you're going to stand here and try to make him lower than what he is because you don't want to walk behind him. He just told every Hebrew Israelite man and woman, I'm speaking to you. Oh, no, he ain't speaking to us now. He's talking to the heathens. No, he's talking to you. He said, this is what you're going to be doing. Marrying wives, drinking, feasting, partying, building, planting, selling. He ain't talking about, he ain't saying that to the Gentiles. Paul got what he got to say to the Gentiles. Y'all saying it to you. Okay, now we're going to go to Peter, 1 Peter. Let's do 1 Peter. Now, what also, I want to show y'all something I saw today. 1 Peter, Peter don't have a verse. I don't have it down. But okay, let's go to I want to show you. I want to ask anybody in the live chat to answer this. Answer this here. I'm gonna mess with y'all now. Because since y'all messing with me, I'm gonna mess with you. Right? Here I go. Genesis. Now, wait a minute, y'all. I'm gonna back up to the perfect will now. Back them up in that perfect will, Deborah. Back their butts up in that perfect will. Back them up. Okay, here we go. Genesis chapter 2. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 25. Ahiah is saying something very deep. He says, and they were both naked. And the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Now, this is before sin came on the scene. Why do he has to be a lie and sin got to be true? You see? Since sin has hit, you got to understand the mind of Yah can be found in Genesis 1 and 2. Because he tells you his perfect will. His perfect creation. Well, Sister Deborah, stop saying that. What makes you think that was the perfect? Because he said, and it was good. Everything he did, he said, and it was good. until he realized he set man in the garden and said, it is not good. Hold up. All this time you were saying it was good, Father. What happened when you set him in the garden? Now it ain't good. Because Deborah, you know what I'm talking about. You know what's going on. Yep, I sure did. I sure did. These men, these Roman Catholics, they can smear whatever they want. Something went down. Something was going down. Y'all knew already when he said it is not good. I said it was good when you made him by itself. So now it ain't good when you put him in the garden to dress it. What's going on? See, I ain't got no sense and I don't care. As long as I got that spiritual sense. That's all that matters. Now, when you go here in Genesis chapter 2 and verse 25, the Father wants me to say something to you all. It says, and they were both naked. And the man and his wife. Now, that bothered me. That bothered me. Because I'm like saying, well, why do you have to expound on that? Wait a minute. Hold up. What is that all about? So when you go here to the Gospel of John, when you go here to the first chapter of John, I'm going to try to bring y'all into the picture. I'm bringing you into the picture. When you go to the book of John, the Gospel of John, chapter 1, and chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah. The same was in the beginning. I'm like, okay, what's all that about? You sound fierce. He said, I am. I want them to get this, that I am the Word, and the Word was before this book exists. If he's the Word, in this book the Word, somebody's big. So when he's saying all that, I'm like saying, well, okay, Father, I can feel saying that. It sounds like somebody's fierce. He said, yeah, I am. I want to get the point across. He still ain't got it today, 2023. Still ain't got the point across. They don't get it. Heaven and earth shall pass away. I mean, this book gonna pass away. But the Word in which he is, which he was, which he always been, because it was in the beginning, gonna always be. You don't know who the Word is. Because the Word is spirit. And it is true. That's the Word. It's spirit. If God's a spirit, he is the Word. He is spirit. The Word is spirit. So you got to sit your tails down and listen to the Spirit teach you what the Word is. You can't be pulling up all in this book and all these lost books, the Torah and all these precepts. You got to pull up with the true teacher of all things, the Word, which is Yah. They missed it. He said they missed it a long time ago. Now let's back to Genesis chapter 2. Same thing. I'm sitting here saying, now, why are you making it sound like that? Genesis chapter 2, verse 25. And they were both naked. Who needs to know that? And then he said, the man and his wife. Okay. When you said both, I knew it. I knew you were talking about he and her. Damn. Why was you putting it like that? And were not ashamed. I'm sending a sign, Deborah. I'm sending a message. All this lust, all this thing about these Hebrew Israelites chasing tail of a woman, the bigger the tail, the bigger they figure it is for. That's the level of lust at its highest. So women, while you run around here trying to get a hump on your bump, guess what? Y'all say you using it for lust purpose, because all it represents is the lust of a man. Because that's what it's seen as. Women has a tendency, especially the tribe of Judah women, they have a tendency of trying to make themselves look away a man gonna see them. But you forgot the perfect will of God. Put your tail in the garden naked. How you like him now? He said in a statement, never was his intent that a man lusts after a woman's body. He told us right there in Genesis chapter 2, verse 25, never was to look at a woman's body. She's naked, he's naked, so what? That wasn't a part of what I created for your lust, your desire of a woman. And they're so ignorant, because when you're chasing someone's tail so you can have a trophy walking with you, because you know if you got a trophy walking with you with a big tail, all the men gonna be drooling with your trophy on the side, and her house is out of order. Her ankles ain't gonna hold up when she hit 55, 60. You ain't gonna even hold up with her that long. Just long enough to let her sit on the side as a trophy. And she ain't got sense enough to understand. She ain't had a father in her life. She ain't had a grandpa in her life. And she ain't had a man out of y'all's own heart in her life. I wouldn't trade a tail for being loved in anything. I would not trade a tail over the word we call love, where we want to be cared for. I wouldn't trade that. I wouldn't trade. So he was showing me today. Because people are stuck on the outer appearance of a person. They don't understand you're still dealing in the world. You're still dealing in the flesh. You're dealing in sorcery and witchcraft. Because as I see it in the perfect will of my Father, in the beginning, the two first chapter, that he said if they missed it, Deborah, they missed it all. He put them in there naked. Because I'm sitting there saying, well, you said you put both of them in there naked. I mean, that's the plainest thing. What are you talking about? The man and his wife. Like, we know it because you said it's the both. But Deborah, I'm making a statement. I put them in there with no shame. They weren't looking at each other's nakedness. First thing sin came on. What was the first sin came on? Lust. The first sin was lust. That's why they start putting stuff to cover. Lust got the best of them. A lot of people think the first sin was them entertaining Satan. No, baby. The first sin was lust. That's why they was covering themselves. That's why he said, well, what's going on here? Well, what are you doing? And who told you? Why are you hiding? I'm naked. That's the only thing man could identify with. Sad. Let's go there. How you said the perfect will said they were naked and they weren't ashamed. Pull it on into them, Deborah. Okay, here we go. Let me bring it to you. Verse 10. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 10. When the perfect will pulled up in Genesis chapter 2, verse 25. Wait a minute, Father, y'all, you placed them there naked. All was well, all was good. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 10. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because, wait a minute, bro. You mean you're not afraid because you disobeyed me? You're not afraid because you didn't keep my instructions and directions? You're not afraid because you didn't keep the only commandment and the only law I gave you? You're not afraid of that? No. Because I was naked and I hid myself. So the first sin of a man is lust. He didn't recognize nothing but his nakedness. So when y'all pulled up with the perfect will, he letting you know, man got a sick disease called lust. And in this world today, women are detached to it so heavy to where while the men are looking at me and women are trying to gain a rear end so that they can be looked at. And guess what? When they finish looking at your tail and using you for a trophy, they still in love with another man. They still in the closet, under the bed, out of the closet, in the kitchen closet, in the pantry, still doing what they doing. Y'all say you can't get away from it. Adam didn't get away from it. Adam didn't get away from it. Y'all, no one never know that, did you? Did y'all know that? No, you didn't know that. And you ain't go nowhere because you don't want spirit and truth. The truth of the told, y'all showing you I'm pulling up with the perfect will, put them in there naked, all is well. I don't want lust nowhere near it. It ain't going to be about their bodies. It's just going to be them having me in the midst. What happened? Genesis chapter 10, verse 3. Genesis chapter 3, verse 10. And he said, I heard the voices in the garden. Okay. And I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. Now time did Adam say, oh, I did what you told me not to. Eve entertained the serpent, and we took this, or we entertained it, and you told me not to. No, he didn't talk about that. He didn't talk about Satan. Whoa, I'm naked, and I hid myself. Flesh. Those were two bound to the lake of fire. Two come down just to go straight to the lake of fire. That's why they went quickly to the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Their destiny was that. And you all were supposed to catch it at the beginning. What was the difference? Adam never owned nothing but nakedness and hiding his body, which is lust. That's what you see so heavy today. They're sending many men and women to hell. Because while women trying to make their rear end be a form that men can lust after, I noticed that the Hebrew Israelite, the tribe of Judah, is the only nation who sees beauty of a woman from her rear end and her unhealthy body. And that's sad. Unhealthy body. They're the only one. That's the only nation on the face of the earth that sees a woman in her unhealthy state. He only sees her body, not her mind, her heart, her intelligence, her know-how. They measure, the only nation on this earth that measure their women by their rear end. And the women so ignorant. Why do you think these women go in and get an injection? Why do you think these women why do you think our women dress the way they dress? You think they dress that way because this is what they want? They're trying to get the only thing that they want, to pay them some attention. Daddy, grandpa, men that they never had. That's why I said this is a nation messed up from before. And y'all running around here trying to make yourself all that and something. Y'all got something coming. You really got something coming. Because if you ever thought, and ain't now one of them, you ain't heard no Hebrew Israelite man, no Hebrew Israelite woman, no nothing tell you about what I just showed you. The difference between the two chapters in Genesis was the perfect will, showing you nakedness. He was pouring it out, saying him and her, his wife, just letting you know that that's going to be the first thing that's going to come to them. Him, not her, to him. Because the first thing he said, I took of the knowledge and I did what you told me not to. And I'm hiding because I wronged you, Father. Wouldn't that be the appropriate thing to do, y'all? Father, you told me not to, and I did anyway. And I wronged you. You told me not to take of. You told me not to entertain. No, he didn't say that. I'm naked. See? It's the body. Adam was sending a message to each and every last one of you out there. He was telling you the focus is on your body, your flesh. It's more important than being focused on the way Yah created you to be. People want people to follow the traditions that they have followed all their lives. Sister Deborah's not into that. How can I follow a tradition? Watch this here. I'm going to get you now. I'm going to get you. How can I follow a tradition in the flesh when I'm upright in the spirit? What do I look like following the tradition of a man in my flesh? And I'm upright with Yah in my spirit. People so detached to the way you're supposed to look, the way you're supposed to act, the way you're supposed to walk, the way you're supposed to talk, how you're supposed to submit. Baby, let me hold up. Those are things of the flesh. He that is born of the flesh is of the flesh. But Sister Deborah come to tell you, I am of the spirit. And I don't have to be justified, clarified, or identified by you, for heaven has orchestrated my steps, predestined, ordained, foreknew me. So why would I get down here and get up under the ways of man, and his ways are lust, abomination, wicked, and evil. And I'm going to get up under their teaching, or you dress like this, you eat like this, you wear your hair like this, you be like this. You get up under that and stay up under it. Sister Deborah has been set free. You see, that's the difference. Narrow is the gate that leads to what is the life of what is righteous. And you notice he said, very few shall find it. So, look like Sister Deborah in the right gate. What do I look like dressing? Keeping the tradition of man. When I am taught by the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh of the Most High God. What do I look like? Submitting to the flesh of abomination and wicked and lust. Why would I be submissive to that? Come on now. When this creator been dealing with me since I was 4 years old, but I'm going to go buckle up to the flesh of man because he's reading out of a book. But yet his lifestyle shows that he's always deep in rooted into wicked and evil. But yet, because he's precept, he's coming from Torah. These people do not even understand what Torah is. They don't understand everything they say. It is falling to the wayside. Nothing. It means nothing. They role playing. So if y'all had someone and he created you to be naked, that naked can represent two situations: naked in purity and righteous, no sinless. But the main one he was telling you it was about the body, no clothes on, naked, because that's the first sin and the only sin. Adam was able to embrace. So that's why you see the men with heavy lust. That's why you see them caught and their mouth is drooling, looking. They'll look at a little girl, 10 years old, and she got a big behind. That's how sick they are. And this is the tribe of Judah. We're trying to make them pretty. And you get these Negroes on this thing telling these women, y'all need to stay in the gym and work out. Ain't no man go, baby, let me tell you something. What's in the rear end of a woman? Outside of what y'all created it for? Crap. And just because you got your lust is at that highest level that ever been on the face of the earth, don't mean that women are supposed to chase that lust, that desire. Are they doing it? Yes. They doing it, not even having. Y'all in there. You ain't getting nothing but the world. That's all you get. Because when this one individual was talking, I heard him say, not this one here on YouTube, but several of them are saying that. I'd like to have a woman so she can be my trophy. See, that's what they want. They want a woman. They don't want you because you pretty or you smart and you intelligent and you're wise and you're knowledgeable or you're a deck of all trades when it comes down to a woman. They don't want that. As long as you got a big rear end, every Negro man, like unto Adam in the garden, that I was naked and I hid, because that's all they see. They want a woman on their side. They got a big rear end. They don't care if she's on drugs. They don't care if she's cracked out. They don't care if she's skits. They don't care if her mind ain't together. They don't care about none of that. As long as they can walk with her and other men drool over what he got. That's what it's all about. So the Father want me to let y'all know that is abomination. That is an abomination. That is the highest level of lust that hits the world today. A lot of y'all in full denial. Because if you look and you see all the other nationalities on this earth, all the other nationalities on this earth, why are we dying unhealthy? You know why? The first thing we do is get overweight. And we don't see nothing wrong with it. Especially when, and they didn't start doing this to this number. I say in the last, say 20 years, and back in the old days, they were also looking, seeing the women. But see, these women, y'all don't understand. You have to be able to walk. If your rear end is the biggest weight on you, or if it's heavier and you got ankles. See, they don't think of stuff like that. They just want to be a trophy in a man's on a man's arm, and he don't want nothing about you. But that you continue to eat because they know that the more you continue working on your rear end, the more the trophy looks in their arm, on their arm, and that's sad. That's sad because that all of that is lust at its highest and abomination because it caused other men to lust. But y'all said, cause it caused them to lust don't mean it's nobody's fault but theirs who's lusting. But you see, it's out of control. It's always been out of control. That's why our women have always been barefooted in the house, laying on their back, having babies. It's because that's all they told them they will work. That's all they told them they would work. The chance that they get was to go to church. And that's why you saw so many women in church, because that was a treat to them. Because home didn't have nothing for them. And that ain't the same woman now, y'all. Don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong. That ain't the same woman in Genesis chapter 1. I created him and her, them. And I created them to work together. That's not the same woman. And just because men have taken you and brought you separate from the creation of the Father's right hand, that's on you. Because they definitely did it and made it about them and tell you cattle. That's what happened in Genesis when he ended the world. And they won't even teach that thing right. Gonna blame it on the giants and the fallen angels. Talking some fallen angels and the giants, the sons of Yah. Stop lying. The sons of Yah came down here to do the mission of Yah. They got caught up seeing what the flesh of man was doing with their daughters. And they decided to take on. And the thoughts and the imagination was so wicked. Yah said, let me get up out of here. Let me end this thing. Because mine ain't got caught up with it. Let me end this thing. And he said he'll do that to you. If he knows that he called you and you get out here and be cutting up from the floor with the world, he'll take your tail out of here. He'll take your tail out. He said, I'll destroy the temple in which I reside. Just so you can be saved. You see how he is? He said, I will destroy your temple, which is your body, just so you can be saved. Why? Because I branded you before you got down there. You just got caught up. But I'm going to pull you back. I'll take your life just so you can be saved. Just so you can be saved. Meaning that, okay, your flesh is going to get you in trouble. I send you down there. Your flesh is going to get you in trouble, and you're going to bring all this stuff to the temple. And where my faith, my righteousness, my belief, and my fear is in you, I'm going to end this thing. I'm going to destroy your temple. Go into the scriptures, and they tell you the same thing. That's how he runs. And that's what was going on when the sons of man saw the daughters of the flesh of man. You got to be able to get to the beginning of it. You got to go back to that beginning. We're so busy listening to them teach this thing. In Genesis chapter 6, and it came to pass when men, that's it, close the book. That's it. See, we missed it. That's how we missed it. Because we don't want to say what Yah is saying. We don't want to turn that wicked and evil over to these men and what they're doing, even to today. Here it is. He's telling us in Matthew, John, and Mark that in the days of Noah, they were doing did, marrying wives. We don't want to see that. That should have showed every ignorant pastor down. That right there tells you use a lie from the pit of hell. He matched marrying wives with what? Genesis 6 when he ended the world. Yeshua pulled up and said, Yeshua pulled up in Matthew. Yeshua pulled up in Luke. Yeshua pulled up in Mark. Yeshua pulled up in John. It's going to be like the days, Deborah, of Noah and the days of Lot. What's going to be like that, Father Yah? What is Yeshua saying? Deborah, pull in to what he said. He's letting you know what happened when I end the world in Genesis 6. Start from the first sentences. The first sentences tell you the story. Don't let them bend y'all up and bend y'all down, tell you the fallen angels. You won't even find a scripture telling you nothing about no fallen angels. Giants been on the earth. I created giants. And just because I created giants didn't make them wicked and evil. Look at the whole house of Israel been falling behind me, wicked and evil. Since Genesis they follow. Wicked and evil to the day we're in today. Killing one another and doing all this abomination, this homosexual and all this old mess, but then turn around and say, they bothering us. How are they bothering you? How are they bothering you? You bothering yourself. He ain't gonna sit here and tell us in Matthew's, Luke, and let us hear in Matthew's, Luke, John, and Mark. It's gonna be like the days of Noah. It's gonna be like the days of Lot. What are you talking about, Yeshua? What is how come they're gonna be doing the same old crap that caused y'all to end the world? Tell them that. Oh no, these men ain't gonna preach that to y'all. They ain't gonna tell y'all the truth. Because y'all want to lie. Y'all want to believe a lie than the truth. And they gonna give you what you want. And that's why the broad gate is so narrow. Because he said, I tell you what, how you like him now. The narrow gate. The broad gate is the way that leads to destruction. Narrow is the gate that leads to life. And very few shall find it. Match that up with YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And when you go in it and you see who's following who, what is the narrow gate look like? What does the broad gate look like? And then your answer will be right there. Why people sitting here got people thinking, oh, you got this here, you preaching it, you teaching it. And supporting these people teaching y'all wicked. They lied in Genesis 6. It ain't got nothing to do with giants. It ain't got nothing to do with the fallen angels. Those angels didn't fall. They were called the sons of God. So how dare you say they fall? Just because they saw your nasty flesh of your men selling their daughters. They saw what they were doing and they decided, hey, let's take as many as we please then. If y'all doing this, we gonna do. That's anybody. That's like us now. Like Sister Deborah. I ain't perfect. I still do wrong. Why? Why? Because I'm in a land that is sick, wicked, and evil, sinful. But y'all can seal me on my back and on my front with righteous faith, belief, and fear. I'm in there. I'm in there whether you don't know it or like it or not. I'm in there. So that's why I can talk the way I can talk. That's why I can act the way I can act. Speak bold in this day and time. Ain't nobody speaking bold. The boldness everybody's speaking is just stupid boldness that don't carry no spirit of truth. So I, Sister Deborah, will say tonight, a little bit too far. Appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat. And I'll say to you, I will be back. And I hope you got something out of it. Because let me tell you something. There's power in spirit and truth. And I say to you all, I appreciate each and every last one of you all. Shalom and shalom.